The following podcast is a deep, shallow dive production.
And you're going to love it.
Okay, let's go.
2020.
I have never publicly endorsed a presidential candidate or a vice presidential candidate in my life, over my career. So I figured let's kick this conversation off this way by me officially publicly endorsing you both to become president and vice president of our great country.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
That's
means a great
incredible.
deal to us, for real. Thank you.
Really. Thank you.
You guys are both obviously experienced to lead. You've done great things. Joe, you've had such an incredible career. You've led, in my opinion, with great compassion and heart. And
4 years later.
Am I happy with the state of America right now? Well, that answer is no. Do I believe we're going to get better? I believe in that. I'm an optimistic guy, and I believe we can get better. The endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time. And I thought back then, when we talk about, hey, I'm in this position where I have some influence, and it's my job then. I felt like that then. It's my job now to exercise my influence and share with this is who I'm going to endorse. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer is no.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I am sorry I missed you yesterday. I am going to apologize every time I don't record 5 days a week, because that's the goal. That is the goal. So I am going to apologize, even though last week I said I don't really think I need to, but I'm going to because I want to. So how's that? Anyway, hope you guys had a nice weekend. Yeah, I really do. And national championship game was last night, although I am recording this episode prior to that airing, so I don't know what's going to happen in that game. All right, so that clip at the beginning, by the way, that was my voice doing the simulated 2020 and 2024. I do have some software that I can basically distort my voice using that, but man, it's a little bit of a pain to use. So I just kind of distorted it myself. Or some people would say that wasn't even distorted. That's mean, but you know what? That's all right. All right. Anyway, so that was The Rock. This was a little controversial over the past several days. And basically, he came out in 2020. And again, I'm talking about Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He came out in 2020 and was, pretty vocal about his support for the Biden-Harris ticket. And I was actually very surprised. That interview was from last week on the Will Cain show, who is a personality on Fox. And, I'm surprised The Rock basically said what he said. Now, I will say this. I did not personally interpret that as him being pro-Trump or anything in relation to Trump. I didn't even interpret that as him voting for Trump, although I think he will vote for Trump based on that. But I didn't interpret that as a endorsement for Trump instead of an endorsement for Biden, obviously. I simply interpreted what he said as him saying, hey, I'm not going to go out there and advocate for you guys. Which again, in and of itself, to an extent is kind of the same thing. I will say he got crucified on X, Twitter, or whatever you want to call it, by the lib mafia. Man, they went after him over the past several days. I mean, pretty big time. And again, like Taylor Swift, maybe, who else are the big Democrat celebrities? I mean, he was really the champion on the men's side, and then Taylor Swift on the women's side. I really was surprised he did this. I actually was. And I will say, I think there are certain people that, for whatever reason, quote unquote, whatever reason, they have some type of deal with quote unquote whoever, who I don't really know exactly who that is, but I think they have some type of deal. And I think Magic Johnson's one of them. And I think The Rock is one of them, because what he has now, again, the dude is a talented guy. I mean, he's very charismatic, obviously incredible physique, but more than that, just, he's very personable. He's an intelligent guy for sure. He's much more than just brawn. But man, he really has gotten a lot of, I guess, things that other professional wrestlers never received. And I kind of think that about Magic. That's a whole nother discussion. But I will say, this surprised me. I feel like he has much more to lose with what he came out and said versus what he has to gain. Now, a lot of people are saying that, his renewed emphasis on WWE, and I think he was on the Rogan podcast, although Rogan is not Republican. Rogan's not far right. People are so off when they say that Joe Rogan is like, far right Republican. He doesn't even seem to really like Trump, to be honest with you. So I don't think Rogan is that at all. But a lot of people are saying that, he's playing up to his MAGA base because he realizes that's where his bread is buttered. But I don't think so. I think that his bread is buttered in Hollywood. He is definitely in the Hollywood mix. So I guess the proof will be in the pudding, and we shall see if, this changes his trajectory in Hollywood. I'm surprised. I'm surprised he came out and said that. And then he also said this during the interview.
In today's easy cancel culture world, and cancel culture, woke culture, this culture, that culture, division, etc., that really bugs me. And in the spirit of that, you either succumb and be what you think other people want you to be, or you go, well, no, that's not who I am. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to be real. If you ask me something, a real answer is important, and the truthful answer is important, and that may get people upset, it may piss people off, and that's okay.
Anyway, man, things never cease to amaze me. Honestly, again, I'm very surprised that The Rock came out with that. Yeah, I really am. I mean, unless this is like some Jedi mind trick stuff, who knows, man? It's like 4-dimensional chess out there. This could be a Jedi mind trick. But if it's not, again, this will actually be a very, very good test to, again, see if anything kind of comes from, I guess, his successes. And, he's got a few different businesses. I think he's got a tequila company. There's also like an energy drink that he's a big part of. And a lot of his net worth is tied to those. Obviously, those companies are private, so there's been no exit there yet. So again, we shall see. But like I said, I was just surprised. And again, this is not like the Will Kane show. It's not like some, major Fox show. So I don't know. I don't know why he kind of took it upon himself to do that. But hey, good for him. Good for him for speaking his truth. I'm all about speaking your truth, whatever that truth may be. It doesn't matter. If that's your truth, then you should articulate it and speak it, and you should be afforded the ability to do so. Again, this is why I hate Twitter, is just the vitriol, just immediate hate nature of everything on that platform. Even though, again, I like that it's providing free speech, I guess I shouldn't say I hate. You know what? I'm going to take that all back. I don't hate Twitter. I hate the haters mentality on Twitter, where it's basically just attacking everything that someone else says and just drinking haterade and being a hater. So that's what I hate. You know what? I apologize. Sorry about that, Elon. I take that back. I don't hate Twitter. Alrighty, moving on. So I wanted to go over this because I'm doing a deep dive on this, but I did kind of want to set the stage a little bit because we've got the end of Ramadan coming. I've talked about this a few times. I think it ends on the 9th, so maybe tomorrow night. And then at the same time, again, like I've said, I am personally, this is just my personal opinion, I'm just seeing so much, I guess, religious conflict that seems to be bubbling to the surface. So as part of that deep dive, I was trying to, really understand religion. And again, that's, I'm not one that's I didn't grow up with organized religion. And, it's not anything that I personally follow. But the first thing I wanted to really understand are the top 5, what are the top religions in the world? So I thought I'd share a little bit on that today as kind of the basis for a follow-up episode that I'm going to do more in depth. But obviously the number one religion is Christianity. It says, actually, I shouldn't have said obviously. Maybe that's not obvious. And by the way, I got this from our good old buddy ChatGPT, where I asked him, hey, ChatGPT, what are the top 5 religions in the world? And his answer was the top 5 religions in the world by numbers are, number 1, Christianity, the largest religion in the world. Christianity has various denominations, including Catholic, Protestant, Eastern Orthodox, and others, with followers spread across the globe. Now, I will say when we dive deeper, I do want to kind of understand, okay, what is the difference between a Protestant and Eastern Orthodox and a Catholic and then a base Christian? I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know if you do. But if you do, good for you. But if you don't, then you'll learn when I figure it out and have an episode on it. All right, number 2, Islam. As the second largest religion, Islam has a significant following worldwide with 2 primary sects, Sunni and Shiite. Muslims adhere to the techniques of the Quran and the Prophet Muhammad. So that's another one we're going to dive into. I mean, Islam is the religion, and, a lot of people think Muslim is the religion. But the term Muslim refers to a follower of Islam. So again, it's not correct to call Muslim a religion itself. Rather, the people that follow Islam are referred to as Muslims. But Muslim is not the religion itself. I mean, that's confusing. I think most people probably don't know that. They probably think Muslim is the religion, but it's not. So, man, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Now, again, if you are Muslim, which means you're a follower of Islam and you're listening right now, you probably think I'm an idiot. But you know what? You might be right about that. But I think that most people who are not followers of Islam don't really know that. I mean, I think people think it's one and the same. They say the Muslim religion, but that's not right. It's the religion of Islam or the Islam religion. And then if you are a follower, you're Muslim. Anyway, man, that's gosh, there's so many major things in this world that are either confusing or people understand them wrong. All right. The third largest religion is Hinduism, predominantly practiced in India and Nepal. Hinduism is the world's third largest religion. It is a complex faith with a wide array of gods and goddesses, rituals, and philosophical beliefs. All right, so Hinduism's number 3, practice in India, makes sense. You got about 1 billion people there, so that skews the numbers in their favor. Okay, Buddhism. Originally in India, but Buddhism now has a significant presence in other parts of Asia, including Sri Lanka, Thailand. What is wrong with me today? Thailand. That's actually pretty funny. Thailand, Tibet, China, and Japan. All right, so there's Buddhism, Buddhist. Man, every time I hear the word Buddhist, I think of the NWA Express Yourself song where the lyric is like, because some don't agree with how I do this. I get straight, meditate like a Buddhist. Ha, that's a great track. Express Yourself by NWA. I seriously was big time into rap in the starting of the 6th grade at West Geauga High School with Casey Hunt. Casey and I were, we were rappers, man. I should have really pursued it more, I think. Because I kind of had actually, I did not have a gift at all. I did not have any flow whatsoever, but I was able to memorize a lot of other people's lyrics. And that actually continues to this day. I can't say I've got a great voice, although I think I do, but most people don't. But I do know the lyrics to a lot of songs. I mean, like a ridiculous amount of songs. So anyway, all right, so that's Buddhism coming in at number 4. And then at number 5 is Sikhism. So Sikhism, though significantly smaller than the top 4, Sikhism is the 5th largest religion in the world. It is in the Punjab region of India. So again, you've probably seen Sikhs. I don't really know how to describe them. We're going to save that for the deep dive. But Sikhism is number 5. So those are the top 5 religions in the world: Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. So then I said, well, hey, how about the next 5? What are the next 5? And this is interesting. So the next 5, the first one was folk religions. Various traditional and folk religions hold significant cultural and spiritual value. These can include African traditional religions, Chinese folk religions, Native American religions, and others. Okay, so that's, I guess, number 6. Number 7, this is funny, atheism, agnosticism. While not religions per se, atheism, the disbelief in the existence of gods, and agnosticism, that's a tough word to say, the view that the existence of God or the divine is unknown or unknowable, represents significant portions of the world population. So the number 7 religion is actually not religions, atheism and being agnostic. Okay, number 8, Judaism. One of the oldest religions, Judaism has profound influence over later religions like Christianity and Islam. So this is another one that's going to be a big part of the deep dive, because obviously I think Judaism, especially today with everything that's going on in Gaza and Israel, it is very much linked to Christianity. And part of that next deep dive is going to be associating that to the Republican Party, which, man, I've figured a lot of stuff out there, which is actually pretty interesting. But the entire Republican Party, and really everyone that is right-wing. Now, this includes folks in America, obviously the Republicans in America, but then even in Canada, like the dude who opposes Justin Trudeau. I don't really know much about the political system in Canada. I'll have to deep dive that as well. But anyway, those guys are super pro-Israel, pro-right-wing, and same thing with some guys in England. So anyway, that's going to be an interesting learning. I really actually look forward to kind of presenting that stuff to you guys so we can all learn together. And then number 9 is the Baha'i faith. The Baha'i faith was founded in the 19th century in Persia. This also is, very similar to, I think it's kind of a hybrid between Judaism and Islam, but it emphasizes the spiritual unity of all humankind. It's one of the youngest of the major world religions. Okay. And then number 10 is Jainism. I have literally never even heard of this. It's spelled Jainism. It says, though smaller in numbers compared to the world's major religions, Jainism is an ancient Indian religion emphasizing nonviolence and asceticism. I don't even know what that word means either. Jains are known for their strict adherence to nonviolence and respect for all living beings. Okay, that sounds pretty nice. I will research the Jains and report back on that. All right. Anyway, that is all for today. We're coming up on 20 minutes. I did want to do that little intro on religion in addition to talking about The Rock. I think it's going to be an interesting week. I really do. Let's see what happens once Ramadan ends. Let's see if there's any increased turmoil in Israel and Gaza. I hope there's not. I hope I'm wrong. You know what's funny? I hope I'm wrong about most of the things I talk about. We shall see. We shall see. All right, everybody. Call a spade a spade. Talk to you soon.
The ending was terrific.
This episode is being brought to you by the upcoming book, Deep Shallow Dive Into You. That's right. Bro wrote a book, and it's coming soon. Stay tuned.